All right, people, on episode number 12, what are we talking about today? First, I'm going to tell you a funny story about the Monday Mystery Movie. Then, I'm going to tell you 3 things you can do to lift your self-esteem. And lastly, I want to remind you, don't give up. Remember, on this podcast, what are we going to do? We're here to laugh, educate, motivate. And we're about to do that right now. Yeah. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Appreciate you joining me on Outside the Box with Mike Terry. I'm your host, Mike Terry. Big shout out to Mike behind the camera doing all the hard work. The MVP, the producer, the Swiss Army knife, man. He makes it easy for me. Big shout out to him. Thank you for being here. We're glad to be here. Appreciate you guys' continued support. This is episode number 12. Got 12 of them. We're going to have a fun time today. Before we start, I kind of want to, I'm proud of myself. You know what I mean? I learned something new, a little magic trick. So what I'm going to do is, all right, well, we got the camera stationary. So I'm going to bring the trick to you. All right. So I just want everybody focus on my hand. Everybody sees my hand, right? All right, here we go. I'm going to show you the magic trick. And about 3, make sure I get the right angle. Hold on. Do it with this one. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, there we go. Magic trick. All right, learned that junk in middle school. Shout out to Fowler. That's a high school. But yo, man, fun time today. Remember, people, what are we here to do? We're here to laugh, educate, motivate. I want to tell you guys a funny story. There's a thing that they have at the mall, Regal Theaters. It's called the Monday Mystery Movie, right? So if you don't know what the Monday Mystery Movie is, it is when you go and you pay $5. You pay $5 to watch a movie that has not been released in theaters yet. It will be, but it's not about to be. So it's kind of, it's a surprise. That's the mystery part. You don't know what movie it's going to be. So, and this is kind of like, me just trying to, what is it? Treat yourself. I was trying to treat myself. Like, all right, man, I'm going to go. Before I go, though, I'm going to go get something to eat. So I'm walking through the food court. Walking through there, I'm looking around at the different options, and I go ahead and I stand next to the Chinese spot, as we say. But what was it? I think it was Chinese cafe or something like that. But yeah, I was standing there and I'm looking around at the options, and I'm looking at the bourbon chicken, because to be honest, I learned my lesson. You know what I mean? I know you don't just go ordering any kind of chicken at a Chinese spot. You know what I mean? At least not in the mall. I've learned that, I'm still trying to find the perfect timing that I can get myself some orange chicken or some General Tso's chicken, because I've had it before and it was on point, but there's also those times where you bite into it and it's just like a rock, like that junk is, I just know that the perfect time to buy chicken from there is not 10 a.m. right when they open, and it's not right before they close. It's somewhere in the middle. But point is, I'm standing there, I'm looking at the bourbon chicken, and the lady behind the counter immediately grabs a piece of the bourbon chicken, and hands me a sample. Now, you know me, I'm always going to take a sample. You know what I mean? That's from my childhood. I'm always going to take a sample. And, I'm sitting there, I'm eating a sample. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. I start biting into it, and she say, and what size you want? Like, I was like, the confidence, though. It wasn't like, hey, how is the sample? Are you in? She's like, nigga, what size you want? Because I know you like it. I know you like chicken, nigga. Come, like, it was the confidence. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the shrimp lo mein. Let me get, that's jump right in position, man. That's what I came there for. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating. Now, boom, it's time to go up and watch the Monday Mystery Movie. I'm excited, people. I'm excited, I'm sitting there in the theater, and, did I go to this movie event thinking that I would get to see the next Marvel movie that they haven't promoted yet? Or did I think that maybe I would get to see some kind of hidden or gem of a horror movie that I've never heard about? Yes, I thought about it. Yes, I was hoping that would be true. But I thought, all right, the chance of that happening is like 50%, right? Maybe 25%. Who knows, right? Is that what happened? No. Instead, some white woman came up on the screen and said her name, which I forgot, and said, "This is the movie that you're about to watch. This person's in it." And then they said Woody Harrelson. I was like, all right. And they said the name of the movie is Champions. I'm going to be honest. Right when they said the name of the movie, I got ready to get up and walk out. I got ready. That was maybe a little too dramatic. I moved the whole damn mic stand with that one. All right. But I was about to move out, right? I was about to get up and walk out. But then I thought to myself, you know what? I paid $5, right? I paid $5 to watch this movie. The least I can do is I'm going to give it 5 minutes. I'm going to give it 5 minutes. If I'm not interested, I'm walking out. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm going to give it a chance. And, 5 minutes go by and I'm still sitting there watching it. It was decent. It was a decent movie. What is the movie about? Woody Harrelson, he is at the time, he is an assistant college coach, right? And he, deep down inside, he's like, man, I believe I got what it takes to make it to that next level, to be an NBA head coach, and it's kind of eating him up inside. Fast forward, he ends up getting to some kind of scuffle with his head coach, and ends up doing a little bit of drinking and driving, ends up in prison, or not prison, but ends up in jail for the weekend. He gets bailed out and goes to court, and he ends up having to do probation, right? Probation for 90 days, and the interesting part is the way he's going to do the community service is by being a basketball coach, right? But he has to be a basketball coach for a rec center, a local rec center, and when he gets there, he finds out that the rec center, the people that he's got to coach are of special needs, right? So, and it's interesting, you know what I mean? There's different characters in there. I'll be honest. It gets kind of cheesy, I'll be honest, after this point, but it has all the things that you would like in a movie like this. He gets attached to the players, he ends up taking up for one of them in the middle of a basketball game, fucks his sister. He has a great time getting to know these players, a great time. And, I'll say, it was, they had an ending, right? The big thing, it's a movie called Champions, right? So they made it to the championship round of the tournament that they were in. And, you know what I mean? He's giving them a pep talk and whatnot, and they're playing their hearts out. And they fucking lost. They blew it. His chance to make it to the league was on their shoulders, and they couldn't hack it. No, seriously. They did lose, but it wasn't that vulgar. But lesson that they learned was that, you know what? Being a true champion comes from the inside, Comes from the inside, So, yeah, they may have lost the game, but they were champions at heart. So, would I recommend this movie? Would I tell you, hey, if you see Champions on Netflix or in theaters, make sure you go and watch it? Would I tell you that information? No. And not because I'm an a-hole for whatever reason. Simply off the basis of, although I enjoyed watching it as a surprise movie, I did not enjoy it to the point where I would go and watch it again, So that's just, I don't want to be giving bad recommendations, and then now you don't trust my recommendations. You're like, that's nigga don't know what he's talking about, So that was the Monday Mystery Movie. And so far it seems like they're having it once a month. So if you have the Regal app, go ahead and, look up on the movies coming soon. You'll probably see it there. Yeah, Monday mystery movie, man. Switch up your work week. Switch up your night out. If you got, some people got Monday off. I don't know. But switch it up. Go check it out sometime, And remember, you can always walk out. It's only $5. All right, moving forward, right? Now, we educate. I want to tell you, what are 3 things? I'm going to tell you 3 things that you can do to lift your self-esteem, to make you feel better about you. First thing, exercise. Let's go ahead and get some exercise in your life, man. It don't have to be super complicated. You don't have to wait. You don't have to go to the gym to exercise. You ain't got to make sure you got the weight belt and the wristband and the fucking subscription to the sauna. You ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta get the waist trainer. Start at the house. You know what I mean? Some basic calisthenics, some push-ups, some sit-ups, and do something that you can maintain. You know what I mean? If right now you can just maintain 40 push-ups and 20 sit-ups, or usually yeah. I know for me it's like, all right, I can always do more crunches than I can do push-ups for the most part, at least at this point in my life. But do something that you can maintain, right? Do something that you can maintain, and you can be consistent with. And then once you're ready, you're able to go to the gym, you already got an advantage. You already got your muscles, awake. That's the main thing, keeping your muscles awake and moving. There's that saying, if you don't not move it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So keep yourself in shape, man. Do some exercise. Exercise, it doesn't count as far as walking to the bathroom. That's not exercise. That's just like alive. That's being alive. That's being, do a little bit, people. All right? Do a little bit. All right. So what is the second thing that you can do to improve your self-esteem? It may sound simple. Here's it right here. Do what you say you are going to do. Simply do what you say you are going to do. Whether it is a small thing or a big thing, it does matter to you. Deep down, it does matter to you. Becoming a man or woman of your word is a very, very encouraging thing. This is something, humbly I say this is something that I am perfecting. I have not perfected it yet, but I am day in, day out consistently working on that. And I know that, when I do keep my word, when I do say what I'm going to do, what I say I'm going to do, whether it all the way down to being on time for work and stuff like that, I get a sense of pride. You know what I mean? I definitely get a boost of a feeling of pride. I end up feeling a little better. So definitely, man. Once again, it may sound simple. Do what you say you're gonna do. It'll make you feel better. You know what I mean? And it'll make people trust you, more able and willing to trust you. Especially when it involves other people. You say, hey, I'm gonna give you $5 on Friday, and then Friday come and they can't find you. Do what you say you're going to do. All right. What is number 3? The third thing you can do to lift your self-esteem. Speak encouragement to yourself. Speak encouragement to yourself. Sometimes, I don't know if you get to the point, you guys who are watching, if you get to the point where like your mind is so clouded with negativity, right? And you only focus on the negative things, sometimes you actually have to remind yourself that you're having a good day, that you are actually having a good day. One thing, one strategy that I use to do this is I'll list in my head, in my mind, I'll keep track of the positive things that have happened, the good things that have happened. Like, for example, and it doesn't have to be super duper. It can start off with just you waking up in the morning, right? You waking up in the morning and everything is working right. Or just you waking up in the morning. That's literally good enough to put on the list. You know what I mean? And then you just go all the way down to, look, man, if you, from the time you woke up to the time you leave your house for work, if nothing terrible happened to you, nothing that messes with your health, you know what I mean? Nothing that causes you actual harm, then that's a good thing. You had a good start to your morning. You know what I mean? You add that to the list, and then you get it. You keep building this stuff up. Why? Yes, to keep yourself encouraged, but also just in case later on in that day, something negative happens, and now it just shifts your whole mindset. Now you're only focusing on the negative thing. This is the perfect time to say, hold up. All right, I noticed that I'm thinking about this. What about the positive things that have happened today, right? So at this point, now you got a list of like 7 things, and you can remind yourself about the 7 things and also notice, all right, look, 7 good things happened today, 1 bad thing happened today. All right, the good seem to be outweighing the bad. So I'm going to try to focus on this more, especially if this negative thing is not life or death. If it's something that doesn't really matter, right? Now that varies for whoever. That varies for whoever. You know what I mean? But you always want to keep track of the things that really matter to you. You know, whether it's family, mental health, whether it is, I was about to say finances. I don't know, but you just want to keep track of the things that actually deep down matter to you, and accept the fact that you cannot control everything. You know what I mean? Ups and downs are going to happen. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. But even on your bad days, try to fight. Try to fight for the positive. All right? Try to fight for the positive. Let me see what. And for anybody, matter of fact, let me point this out too. This is something that I've known about for a while, but I've started to do it more and more. If you really down, you maybe you even depressed, put on some upbeat, positive music. You know what I mean? Whether it's on YouTube or whether you got a streaming service. Like I know I use Deezer for fellow Cricket users or AT&T users. Put on some positive, upbeat music. Like for example, and this is just me telling you something that I've done. It was like I was really down at one point in time. I was like really down and low, and I remember I went on my phone app Deezer, and they have these curated playlists and stuff like that, and it said good vibes. It said upbeat. They had different ones, but it said upbeat, positive vibes, right? So I smoked the Dutch as I listened to the music, right? And I had my earbuds in, and I just played it, and my mindset was, I don't care if it's a woman or a man singing. I'm going to focus on the words and focus on the positivity, right? About like an hour and a half later, 3 hours later, I was up there moving and grooving, and I was in a better spot, man. I was at least, you know what I mean? I wasn't maybe full-blown smiling, but I was at least humming the music. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking as negative as I was before. Because remember, music has the power to shift your mood. It can shift your mood. It can, you can be like, for example, another example was one time I was having a good day. Then I started listening to a whole bunch of gangster rap, and I was pissed off. You know what I mean? And I remember just thinking to myself, damn, how did I get here? I was doing good earlier. And then I walked it back, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. I gotta, that moment let me know, okay, this actually has some power. It's not just a nice song. It's nice just, you know what I mean? Music has, you know what I mean? It sometimes it can be spiritual. All right, so let's see. Oh, and matter of fact, we're speaking about positivity. We're speaking about speaking encouragement to yourself. I seen a little clip of a video on Instagram, and it basically, the point of it is positivity matters. And we about to show you it right now. We got the clip. This man says it all. Let's check out this clip right here.
There's a book called The Many Hidden Messages in Water. It's mind-blowing. I don't know if any of you have ever read it. Mind-blowing. And Dr. Emoto, just one of the studies, you can even Google Dr. Emoto water studies. He took water from a water bottle, put it in a petri dish, water from the same bottle, put in another petri dish, flash froze both of them, But on one of the Petri dishes, he wrote positive words. On the other one, he wrote negative words. The one he wrote the positive words on turned into these beautiful snowflake-looking patterns. The ones he wrote negative words on turned into these gnarly-looking, ugly, matted-up patterns. Here's the question I ask at my training the last 2 days. As far as we know, can water read? No, not as far as we know. As far as we know, can water think? Well, not as far as we know. But yet, the words written on a container of water affect the molecular structure of the water. My body is 70% water. My brain is 90% water. And I can read, I can hear, and I can think. How could I possibly go through life and be so deceived as to think that words don't matter? That's why I don't use profanity. That's why I don't use negative talk. I don't do negative joke. I don't negative. Most people, most of the stuff they do is negative. The cultural hypnotic societal mechanism is programming you to be negative because it knows if it can make you negative, it can make you broke, and broke people are easier to control than people who are free.
Yeah, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, positivity matters, man. What you say to you matters. You know, one thing I'm also working on is just like being nicer to myself, being kinder to myself. Because, you know, you want the best, you know, I'll be real hard on myself. So I'm trying to do better at how I speak to myself, because that junk actually matters, you know, self-image, whatnot. All right, people. Now we motivate. I want to let everybody know, tell you guys watching at home, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on, you know, your passions. Don't give up on your purpose. Even if it feels like it ain't working out right now, you feel like you can't figure it out, man. Stay in there. Stay in there. Stay in the fight. Even on a more personal level, you always got something to live for. You know what I mean? Don't give up. I don't want to speak on that in like a I don't give a fuck way, but I just want you guys to know, man, emotions are temporary. Emotions are temporary. You know what I mean? You can be happy and sad in the same day. Happy and sad in the same day. So take that, you know what I mean, solidly. Just, you know, I don't know all the statistics, but I do know that people are, you know, there's words that you can't say on Instagram or whatever, Facebook or, you know, YouTube. People are checking themselves out. You know what I mean? Please don't do that. Don't give up. Look, man, you got something to live for. You got, you know, whether it's just, let me see what the rest of the week look like. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life. You know, don't just say, all right, well, I guess, you know, it ain't going to happen for me. Whether it's your passions, whether it is your purpose, what you strongly believe that you are on this earth to do, whether it just feels like it's not working out right now, or you're not going to figure it out, or don't give up, man. You can, like, for example, right? Don't make a permanent decision. I've heard somebody say this. Don't make a permanent decision based off a temporary circumstance, right? You can be happy and sad in the same day. You know what I mean? Like, say right now you feel real low. Because you feel real low, that's not a good enough reason to finish yourself off, man. You know what I mean? Hard times, I'm not trying to say this to discredit people's bad days or what's going on in your life, but trouble falls on the just and the unjust. You know, I know everybody doesn't read the Bible. I know everybody doesn't believe one thing. I get it. I'll just say it. You know what I mean? It says it in the Bible. That's what I believe. I understand, once again, not everybody believes it, but I believe it holds a lot of weight. Everybody's going to go through something. Everybody's going to have a really bad day, you know? And in life, I've learned you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it, how you handle it, how you go about it. You know, you can control your mood during it, you know? So it's Everyone is going to, you're not alone is a point while I'm saying everybody is going to have a bad day. Everybody's going to be having a bad go of it. But you got something to live for. You know what I mean? And if you truly feel like you don't have anything to live for and ain't no point to it, and especially if you never had at that point, try Jesus, man. And I don't mean this, I don't mean that in a snarky way. You know, try a higher power, you know. Whether you decide you call him Muhammad, or not Muhammad, I'm messing up. You call him Allah. Like there's in the Bible, I remember there was a scripture. It said Jesus, God has many names, right? God has many names. Now outside of the Bible, this part is just me talking. And I'm gonna increase my knowledge on this even more so, but I think it's kind of, because I know different belief systems, they have similar foundations. You know what I mean? Treat people how you want to be treated. You know, do for others. You know, but I'm not trying to speak empty quotes. I'm not trying to just be talking for the sake of talking. My point is, there's always another way. There's always another way. You know what I mean? And just don't do it, man. Don't. I wish I could say more on that, and I hope that you see my intention behind it. You know, is on a lighter note. I always think, like, you know how on Instagram or Facebook you see somebody posting a depressing tweet, or not tweet, but a post. You know what I mean? Just posting some junk like and they make it sound like they about to off they self. Like I wouldn't want to see that, right? Like I read what somebody posted, and then I go ahead and I scroll past it, and then a week later we all find out they passed away or they took their own life. Like maybe that's selfish of me, but it's like I never want to see that and then think to myself, dang, maybe I could have did something that could have helped or you know, guided them towards help or something like that. So, you know, yeah, man, freaking give it. Don't give up. Don't give up, man. There's always something to live for. Maybe, you know, at this point in time, you may be focused on the negatives to the point where you don't see what there is to live for. You know, you can live for your family. You can live for yourself. You know, some people live for their jobs. I wouldn't recommend that. But you could live for being a good example. Maybe you got young people in your neighborhood. You know, you can live for God. I'm sorry that I put that number 5. That probably shows that I need to straighten up my ass, right? You can live for, well, yeah, I think that goes under that too. I just want you to know there's more than one thing, right? There's more than one thing that is important in life. Life is valuable. You know, remember, man, you were shot out of a dick, right? That's a little vulgar, but it wasn't like it was just one sperm that got shot into the vagina, man. You made it out of like millions. You freaking made it. That's got to count for something. Remind yourself of that, maybe. You know, you get real low. You're like, well, I mean, you got to make the life worth it, right? You got to make life worth it. So in closing, I want to let everybody know, man, don't give up. Stay encouraged. If you got family, speak to them, especially those who you can trust. Make sure you have people around you that pour into your life, positivity, and remind you of the good things that are happening in your life as well as their life. Stay away from competing with people too. You know, comparing and competing, whether it's amongst family or friends, man. Just you got to make sure you got the right people around you, man. You never know. You could go ahead and remove some people from your life, and then you find out you got a whole different mindset towards life. You know, so definitely evaluate. Don't. There's always something to live for. All right, people. There's always something to live for. I appreciate you guys. For stepping outside the box. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. Shout out to Mike for being here alongside me. Shout out to the whole C2C and the radio family. Please make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment what you liked about the episode. We're always striving to get better and improve. So I'm interested to hear your feedback. Make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell so that you can get notifications every time we post a video. And make sure, please, 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 make sure you share this video. Share it to somebody who could use a laugh. Share it to somebody who could use some of the education in this video. Also, maybe most importantly, share it to somebody who could use some motivation. So remember, we're here to laugh, educate, motivate. And give yourself a thank you, by the way. Because at the end of the day, you just stepped outside the box. Peace.